सभी को सादर नमस्ते जी। टुडे इज मंडे नवंबर 10th 2025। वी विल स्टार्ट आवर सेशन ऑन संध्या उपासना एंड मंत्र स्वाध्याय। आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है जो हमारे साथ जूम से या फिर सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हुए हैं। एंड दिस प्रोग्राम इज बीइंग ब्रॉट टू यू बाय आर्या प्रतिनिधि सभा अमेरिका। हमारे आज के स्पीकर हैं आचार्य वरुण देव जी फ्रॉम आर्य समाज इन सियाटल। नमस्ते आचार्य जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है संध्या सेशन में। आप प्लीज संध्या से स्टार्ट करिए।
नमस्ते जी, धन्यवाद श्री भल्ला जी। सभी को सादर नमस्ते। सभी का आज के इस संध्या के सत्र में, मंत्र स्वाध्याय के सत्र में स्वागत है। हम सभी मिलकर परमपिता परमेश्वर, उस सुखों की खान, शांति के अनंत सागर, उस महती कृपा, दया, करुणा, हम सभी मिलकर के सागर परम प्रभु के प्रति कृतज्ञता के भाव से युक्त होकर श्रद्धा और विश्वास के साथ अपने चित्त को समाहित कर सभी प्रकार की दुविधाओं, चिंताओं, सांसारिक ऊहापोह से स्वयं को विरक्त कर, पृथक कर, केवल मात्र एकाग्रता परमेश्वर की दिव्य चेतना पर केंद्रित कर हम ब्रह्म यज्ञ आरंभ करेंगे। मंत्रोच्चारण के समय मंत्र के अर्थ से संबंधित होते हुए मन में भाव उत्पन्न होगा और वही भाव प्रदेश में जितना भाव प्रदेश सघन होगा, जिस प्रकार हम ऊंचे पर्वतों पर चढ़ाई करते हुए जितना ऊंचा चढ़ते जाते हैं उतनी ही वायु हल्की होती जाती है, ठीक इसी प्रकार जितना हम अपने भीतर गहरा उतरते जाएंगे उतनी ही हमारे भीतर संसार के प्रति आसक्ति कम होती जाएगी। और जैसे ही हमारा भाव प्रदेश में अंतःकरण शुद्धता, पवित्रता को प्राप्त होगा, तब हमें ईश्वर की उपस्थिति का अनुभव होना आरंभ होगा। तो आइए इसी भाव उद्देश्य के साथ कि सारे मंत्र एक प्रणव की ओर ले जाने वाले हैं, उस ईश्वर की ओर ले जाने वाले हैं, एक धनुष की भांति हैं जिसका लक्ष्य है ईश्वर तक पहुंचना। तो सभी मंत्रों का ध्येय यही है कि ईश्वर तक हम पहुंच जाएं। इसी भाव के साथ हम ब्रह्म यज्ञ आरंभ करते हैं। 3 बार लंबा गहरा श्वास लेकर ओम की ध्वनि का उच्चारण करेंगे। अथ ब्रह्म यज्ञ। ओ ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः। ॐ वाक् वाक्, ॐ प्राणः प्राणः, ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः, ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम्, ॐ नाभिः, ॐ हृदयम्, ॐ कण्ठः, ॐ शिरः, ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम्, ॐ करतलकरपृष्ठे ॐ भुः पुनातु शिरसि ॐ भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयोः ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ ऋतं च सत्यं चाभिद्धात् तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्र्यजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजं भेदध्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजीरक्षिता पितर ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजं भेदध्मः ॐ प्रतीचीदिग्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रीदाकुरक्षितान्नमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजं भेदध्मः ॐ उदीचीदिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजं भेदध्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिता वीरुधैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टि यं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वो जम्भे दध्मः। ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिबृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमीषवः। तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः नमयेभ्यो अस्तु। योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टि यं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वो जम्भे दध्मः। ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परिस्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरं देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम्। ॐ उदुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः। दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम्। ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः। आप्राद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थुषश्च स्वाहा। ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्छुक्रमुच्चरत्। पश्येम शरदाः शतं जीवेम शरदाः शतं शृणुयाम शरदाः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदाः शतमदीनाहस्याम शरदाः शतं भूयश्च शरदाः शतात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणा धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवेन्नः। ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। In our mantra Swadhyaya series of Aaryabhivinaya Granth, that is a wonderful gift to us by Rishi Dayanandji. Such a devotional text, devotional interpretation of the mantras, which really personally we need in our life to intensify the faith, to strengthen our fortitude, our devotion, and to uplift our consciousness from this mundane life, always surrounded by the futile and sometimes useless thoughts, emotions, and actions. If we observe our life from morning to night, even in the dream time, sleeping time, the majority of the time, except those people who have devoted their time to the study, to the Swadhyaya, to the yoga abhyas, the majority of the people, they are engaged only in the superficial, artificial life. Artificial in the sense only moved and derived from the Rajogun and Tamogun. But when our life is uplifted towards the Sattva-guna, when our mind is sattvic, only then our speech will be humble, polite. Only then our inclination towards the knowledge will be intense and sincere. And only when we are sattvic in our nature, only then truly, humbly, we try to be devotional devotee, true devotee of Paramatma. Before that, it's all pretense, and we can say a try and effort, not completely pretense, but most of the time we are satisfying ourselves in our sadhana that, okay, I'm doing this, it's enough for me. But if we really want to become the true aspirant, the seekers, like the examples of the rishis is there in front of us, then the time should come in our life when, without the thought of Paramatma, without thinking about Paramatma, we cannot live. We cannot get satisfied by anything in this world except when we are living in the divine presence of that Paramatma. So such was the mantra of the last session, where Paramatma is teaching that if the yogis, we will become the yogi, and when we become the yogi will say, I have known the Paramatma, I have touched that divine consciousness, and that is like Adityam, Aditya Varanam, beyond transcendental of all the suffering and ignorance. And only by knowing, by attainment of that consciousness, we can transcend the death. There is no other way. And today, on the 9th mantra we are, that is the Yajurveda Adhyaya 19th, mantra 9, and very popular, famous prayer we always do after the Yaj, after the Havan. And this prayer indeed is one of the very effective prayer if we truly practice it in our daily life. It is not just only doing it after the Yaj, but to remember this every time in our life, because we all need what we need in our life to get all our works done in an optimum way, in a noble way. This is the prayer for that. So the mantra is TEJO-SI TEJO-MAYI DEHI VEERYAMASI VEERYAM-MAYI DEHI BALAMASI BALAM-MAYI DHEHI-YOJO-SYOJO-MAYI DEHI MANYURASI MANYUM-MAYI DEHI SAHO-SI SAHO-MAYI DEHI. So mantra is from Yajurveda, as I said, 19th mantra, 19th chapter, mantra 9. And the meaning of the mantra TEJO-SI, Tejah-asi. Paramatma is, this prayer is for us that Paramatma, thou art Tejah, radiance, divine radiance, brilliance. You are the self-illuminated. You are the prakashako ke prakashak. You are that light of knowledge which illumines everything in this entire universe. TEJO-SI DHEHI. Instill that brilliance of knowledge in me also. So we have to understand that all the brilliance, radiance, when these words are used, they are connected with the knowledge, with the illumination, with the enlightenment. And especially if you look at the faces of those who practice yoga in their life, yoga abhyasi, you will see that because of the austerity, tapasya, because of that attainment, that effort, sincere efforts to get the knowledge, to attain the knowledge, they get that tej on their face. Even if we look at the Agni, which illumines everything around us, it is a physical symbol of that divine illumination. But we have to get enlightened in our consciousness. That is the real tej. VEERYAMASI, VEERYAMASI. O Prabhu, thou art that courageous, full of valor, vigor, and full of heroic energy. VEERYAMASI DHEHI. You endow that parakrama, that heroic strength with me, in me. BALAMASI, BALAMASI DHEHI. Thou art that power, that mightiness, that firmness in you, that force, bal, force, which makes everything act and move in its right way. Without that force, without that bal, nothing can be done in this world. If someone is balwan, that is why rishis, they say the sattvic people, the noble people, the Arya, has to be strong, balwan. So that in the prayers previously, in the Raksha, Prarthanae, in the previous sessions, in one mantra, the bhav was, O Paramatma, make the noble people so strong that the evil people don't dare to touch them or to fight with them. Such should be the powerful and forceful atmosphere, aura of the noble people. Balam Dehi, grant me that physical and moral power. TEJO-SI, Ojo Mahidehi. Oj, that vitality, that spiritual glow, that inner strength. Bestow that inner vitality, strength upon me. MANYURASI, Manyur Mahidehi. Manyuh means that controlled and righteous, fiery kind of, we cannot say in a negative sense, anger, because anger is always used in the most negative sense. But here, it is manyu. We cannot translate it into the anger. So it is manyu, which is controlled and righteous fierceness of Paramatma. Paramatma is Rudra, who makes the evil people weep, who punishes those who are on the wrong path. So we are asking, fill me with that disciplined willpower, that which will make me fight with those wrongdoing forces in this world. And then SAHO-SI, SAHO-MAYI DEHI. That Paramatma is Sahansheel, that Paramatma is infinitely endured. Forbearance is there in Paramatma. So we are asking for that patience, that endurance, so that we also don't distract from our path of truth and nobility. So such a wonderful pair. And Maharshi Dayanand Ji in his Bhashya, what does he starts from He Sakal Shubh Gun Kar Rajan. Shubh Gun Kar Rajan. How beautiful is this Sambodhan to Paramatma. If we just learn to address Paramatma like this, intimate, personal, and very full of devotion, He Sakal Shubh Kar Rajan, then how can there be not that bhav towards the Paramatma full of gratitude and devotion and faith? So we have to choose the beauty of Aaryabhivinaya, that Maharshi Dayanand Ji chose such very devotional words, the vocabulary. These words immediately they intensify our devotion towards the Paramatma. And then he translates Veeryam as Parakrama and Oj Pran Ka Samarthya, so that we have more deeper understanding of these words. Every day we are uttering these, chanting these mantra, TEJO-SI, TEJO-MAYI DEHI, but we have to connect ourselves with the vibration of the mantra, with the consciousness of the mantra, because the mantras are living. They are not just the words. The Paramatma has installed his consciousness into the mantra. That is why it is called Ved is divine. They are Ishwarakrit, not Manushakrit. So the difference between them and the scriptures compiled and created, edited by the human beings, by the rishis, is that in these months we can directly have the connection with Paramatma. This is the power of the Veda mantra. That is why we should more and more in our life get motivated to read, to do study, to give time to study the Veda mantra. That is why Maharshi Dayanand Ji made this Siddhant, this principle of Arya Samaj, that Ved ka padhna padhana और सुनना सुनाना सब आर्यों का परम धर्म है. Every day we need to study, do the Swadhyaya of the Veda mantra. And Aaryabhivinaya should be studied thoroughly in a cycle. When it's finished, again we should read it. More and more we will get to know about the more subtler meanings of these mantra. So now, in a concise way, there are few things which are being asked: the radiance of knowledge, the courage, strength, vitality, that righteous fierceness, that manyu, and endurance, patience. And if we go more deeper into the meaning of the mantra, what is Tejas? Teja, the radiance of truth. It comes, the knowledge becomes Tejpurn, radiant and brilliant and illuminating when it is connected. The source is the truth. That is why if we separate the knowledge from Paramatma, then there is no Tej. And today's life, in the modern life, because scientists have cut that connection from Paramatma of the science, that is why we see chaos in this world. psychologically, even physically. They invented these synthetic materials like plastic and other things which are polluting our atmosphere. If knowledge is connected to its source, only then it gives its optimum results. Otherwise, only for the physical means of fulfillment, it will not produce what it meant to be. So the Teja is not just a physical, it is a spiritual illumination. It is the light of the illumined wisdom that destroys, that burns all the ignorance, doubt, and fear. And that is why we pray Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. O Paramatma, you lead me from darkness to light. It means this is a process. If we look at the mantra, Veda mantra, in every mantra we find a process. Things which are moving, nothing is static. We have to move in our consciousness as well. Move in the sense, progress. Under what we know today, what we understand today, our understanding, the circumference of understanding must be widened more and more, day by day. Today, what we don't understand, tomorrow we should understand. The compass of our understanding should be multidimensional. That is the meaning of Teja. Then, as Maharshi Dayanand in his Bhashya said, what is Virya? Parakrama. That is why if we look, if our Kshatriyas are not Parakrami, not courageous enough, that is why Bharat, Aryabharat was subjugated by the foreigners, invaders, because of the lack of knowledge, that Tej, and the lack of this Parakram, this courage, this valor, this, because of this strength, that fearless effort in the Kshatriyas, that heroic energy which comes when we are connected with our roots. If you cut the tree, then tree will grow again because root is there. But if you eradicate the roots, then the tree will not grow. So this happened in the past. Many invaders came and they thought, let's distract these Arya people from their path and they will be destroyed. But no, our roots are the Veda, and Veda are eternal. No, nothing can destroy that eternal source of wisdom and knowledge. So this Virya and then Bala. Without this force, the power of stability, we don't have the force, anybody will come and whisper in our ear and we will be distracted. We have to protect our children, new generation from that. And we have to come into the dialogue. The problem is there is a gap between the new generation and us because there is no dialogue. And with whom they are in dialogue, those power forces are misguiding the new generation. So we have to be very careful and be Balavan physically and mentally and make our children principally healthy. Oj, the energy of life, is essential. Without that essential vitality, it does not mean to be chanchal in our actions. That is not vitality, to be chanchal, to be restless in our prana. But when there is force, when there is courage, all these are connected, interconnected with each other. They are intertwined. If you cut one from the another, the circuit is not complete, and the divine energy, the divine flow will not be there. Manyu, we have to stand firm for the protection of the dharma. Dharmo rakshati rakshitah. So we have to protect the dharma, only then dharma will protect us. If we protect the dharma, the righteousness, the nobility in us, only then it will protect us. The divine protection will be there. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. And then sahanshilata. Without that, all these other attributes, these 6 powers, the prayers for these 6 attributes in our life, Tej, Veerya, Bal, Oj, Manyu, and without this sahanshilata, it will not reflect itself into its full optimum manifestation. So now let's read the Maharshi Dayanand Ji's given Vyakhyan in Hindi and then in English. He Swaprakash अनंत तेज आप तेजः असि अविद्यांधकार से रहित हो, किंच सत्य विज्ञान तेजः स्वरूप हो। तेजोमयि देहि आप कृपा दृष्टि से मुझ में वही तेज धारण करो, जिससे मैं निस्तेज, दीन और भीरु न कहीं कभी न हो। हे अनंत वीर्य परमात्मन आप वीर्यम असि वीर्य स्वरूप हो। वीर्यम मयि देहि मुझ में भी शक्ति की स्थापना करो। हे महाबलशालिन बलमसि आप सर्वोत्तम बल युक्त हो। बलम मयि देहि आप मुझ में भी सर्वोत्तम बल स्थिर करो, स्थिर रखो। हे अनंत पराक्रम आप ओजः असि पराक्रम स्वरूप हो। ओजो मयि देहि सो मुझ में भी उसी पराक्रम को सदैव धारण करो। हे दुष्टा नामु परिक्रोधकृत मन्यु असि आप दुष्टों पर क्रोध करने वाले हैं। मन्युम मयि देहि आप मुझ में भी दुष्टों पर क्रोध धारण कराओ। हे अनंत सहन स्वरूप सह असि आप अत्यंत सहनशील हैं। सह मयि देहि मुझ में भी आप सहन सामर्थ्य धारण करो। अर्थात शरीर, इंद्रिय, मन और आत्मा, इनके तेजादि गुण कभी मुझसे दूर न हो, जिससे मैं आपकी भक्ति का स्थिर अनुष्ठान करूं और आपके अनुग्रह से संसार में भी सदा सुखी रहूं। He clarified everything why सहनशीलता is necessary for as the foundation of all these other attributes of Paramatma. Some people, they confuse between Sahanshilta and Manyu, and it is clear now that Manyu, what Shri Ram did with the Asura, that was Manyu. What Shri Krishna, what at that time the greatest people they did sanghar of the Rakshasa Jati, that is called Manyu. There was no dvesh. When there is dvesh, it is not called Manyu, it is called anger. When it is derived from the ego, it is not Manyu, it is anger. That is why we have to invoke that Manyu in us, not the anger always burns, but Manyu is like a weapon, it comes out when there is any danger on the dharma. And Sahanashilta is not the weakness. Sahanashilta, the greatest people can only be Sahanashil, endure. So we should not, it is very beautiful prayer if we look at it, and every day we should read it and contemplate on it. Now English version. O self-luminous one, O infinite radiance, you are the embodiment of light, free from the darkness of ignorance. You are the very essence of truth and wisdom. Tejo-mai dehi, by your gracious glance, instill that same divine radiance of true knowledge within me, so that I may never become dull, weak, or fearful anywhere at any time. O infinite in power, Supreme Being, you are the very form of strength. Establish that strength within me as well. O Mighty One, you are endowed with the highest power. May you keep the supreme power firm within me too. O infinite in courage and valor, you are the very embodiment of heroic energy. May that same courage and vigor ever abide in me. O righteous anger against the wicked, you are the one who directs anger righteously toward evildoer. Inspire in me also that divine indignation against evil and injustice. O infinite in forbearance, you are supremely patient and enduring. Endow me too with the strength of endurance. May the qualities of light, power, courage, righteous anger, and patience never depart from my body, senses, and mind, or soul, so that I may steadfastly engage in devotion to you, and by your grace remain ever happy in this world. Such a wonderful prayer by Paramatma himself, given to us to adore him. How compassionate is Paramatma that he is showing how to pray to him. It is the shortest way. So now Shanti Path. Om Dyahu Shantirantarikshaṃ Shantehi Prithivi Shantirapah Shantiroshadhayah Shantehi वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्तिः 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 सब